So a while back, I kind of talked about how I really liked the Brigitte meta, and as you see on my channel, I have taken down that video, and most of my main points I think still kind of stand. There still are a lot of things I like about the meta, a lot of things I like about how it makes a lot of bad characters for the longest time, like Ryan and Zarya, finally good. A lot of that stuff still stands, but I've started to just not enjoy playing in this meta at all, and today I want to talk about why I hate the meta. And honestly, this video is probably going to be kind of weird and not really go over the things that you mainly think about, because honestly, I enjoy playing the character a lot. I think she's extremely fun. I think playing in the meta is decently enjoyable, but there are a lot of other problems that are almost exactly mirroring the Mercy meta that are making me dislike playing the game right now. With that said though, guys, let's get started here. Now, the number one thing that is making me hate this meta right now is the fact that Brigitte is a must pick every single game. And this is exactly like the Mercy meta. I hate when there's a hero that is a must pick every single game, and especially when it's a hero I want to play, because what it does is that it makes it that playing the character doesn't feel special at all. And picking up Doomfist, even though I didn't really like playing him honestly, and even though his kit wasn't that good, at least when I picked him up at the beginning, not everyone was playing him. At least when I picked him up, it was kind of enjoyable. You know, I was trying out something new, and not every single game I'd be seeing the same character, me playing them versus someone else playing the same character. But I mean, every single game I go on to in competitive, there's either a Brigitte on our team, a Brigitte on their team, or both. And most of the time, if there's not one of the teams is gonna flame someone on their team until they pick up this character. And I just hate how not fun that feels and how not special that feels. And in general, what it's been doing a lot for me is giving me so much less motivation to play the game. Now, maybe this just is for me. You know, a lot of people I think could probably care less. They just want to play the heroes that are the best right now, and she's the best, so whatever, I'll pick her up. But I don't know. This has just been a problem I've always had with games. And this is one of the biggest problems for me right now with the Brigitte meta. Now, another thing that I'm going to say right here that does kind of connect to the last point is that it's very hard to express any skill on this hero when everybody is playing the same characters. And especially, again, let's look at the Mercy meta. I mean, you could tell a big difference if you were really looking into it from a good Mercy and a bad Mercy, but to the average player, it's kind of hard. Honestly, it's kind of hard to see who's playing better, and when you needed a Mercy every single game, it was especially difficult because, I mean, essentially you're comparing apples to apples. It's kind of hard to see who's doing better, and kind of hard to see the big plays, while when you're comparing apples to oranges, it's a lot more noticeable. And I think with Brigitte, that's exactly how it's been working. When Brigitte finally becomes pretty balanced, her stun, I think it's going to be a lot more impressive when it's used well. The armor is going to be a lot more impressive when that's used well. The disengage, that'll be awesome to see. But right now, every single game, you just see the same thing happening. You see the same character versus the same character. And I mean, if this was a game like League of Legends where you could only have one on each team, I think that would be fine, because, you know, you'd be seeing, you know, you'd at least have to be seeing a few other supports. But the way that Overwatch works, where everybody can pick the same heroes on the same teams, it just creates a situation where you're always seeing this hero, and it seems so hard to express any real skill on this hero. And I don't know. Of course you can, and of course, you know, you can get a lot better at her and eventually climb and do really well. But right now, it just feels like whenever I'm playing her, I mean, so many other people could be playing her in a similar way, and it's just not that, you know, special to be playing this character right now. Again, very much like the Mercy meta, which made me quit the game quite a bit right there. And overall, it feels like this hero is quite a bit like Mercy, where, you know, there are some things that you can do that make you better than the average player. And I think Brigitte is probably even a little better than Mercy in that aspect, where, I mean, if you really get down, your positioning, your timing, your shield bash, all of that, you should be able to do a lot better than the average. But it feels like right now that's not really the case, and I hope that that can be fixed, hopefully by just honestly balancing the game and balancing the character a little bit. Now, another thing I'm going to say right here is that I just can't deal with consistent but acceptable complaints. And this is one of those things that, as a person that wants to play this hero, just kind of turns me off of them so much. Every single game, hearing people complain about the hero that I want to play. And I know that this does change every single meta. Everyone has to deal with this. I agree. You know, the Mercy meta, another great example, people complaining about Mercy every single game. And yeah, I agreed, it is an acceptable complaint. The character is stupidly overpowered. However, it just makes me not want to play the game. It makes me not want to play that hero when every single time you log in, play that hero, somebody's complaining about how it's completely ruining the game, how it's getting rid of all the fun for them. I mean, of course, as always, you should be just ignoring strangers online, but it will eventually get to you, and it is an annoying thing that you have to deal with. And, you know, is honestly, you know, again, an acceptable complaint. And every time I pick up the character, I feel kind of bad for picking up the character because she's just so strong and impressive compared to everybody else that, I mean, yeah, I think there's a problem there. And I guess one thing I should bring up right here is that overall, other than, you know, her just being so strong and that being kind of annoying to hear people complain about her, it's been kind of hard to even want to play her at all because I know that she's going to get nerfed really hard because she has such a great win rate and such a great play rate. It's just ridiculous. It's like a 57% win rate and like a 12% play rate. That's unheard of ever since Mercy meta, of course. But the fact that she hasn't been nerfed yet essentially gets rid of any real big desire to play her because, you know, I'll have to get used to her after the nerf anyways in a new meta, so why bother because the nerf is going to happen. But at the same time, what's really been pissing me off is that she hasn't been nerfed yet, when obviously she should be nerfed. Her stats are so good. No other hero ever since release has had nearly as good as stats. And no, it's not one of those things where you can just learn to counterplay against her. By design, her kit is just a little too strong right now. And by a little, I mean a lot. And honestly, it should get some nerfs. And having her be nerfed would make her a little funner to play for me, honestly. I think overall, that's just one thing that I guess has kind of been bothering me, that the Overwatch development team seems to still be so bad at balancing the game in a timely manner. I mean, eventually, they're probably going to nerf this character and make her fit into the game. But I think after the first week of her being in competitive, they should have easily seen the, hey, let's nerf so that her armor only gives her, you know, an extra 100 instead of 150 like they did on the PTR, and push that straight into live. And then the next week, if she's still a little too strong, maybe you make the stun go from 5 to 6 seconds and push it to live. And then the next week, maybe make her healing a little worse or damage worse. That's probably not a good idea. Maybe make something a little bit worse and then push it and let it go to live and keep doing that, slowly changing her. And if she eventually becomes a little too weak, then you revert one of those patches. But that hasn't been what they've been doing at all. It's been like 2 weeks and they haven't done anything. And I think that just kind of reminds me of the fact that Blizzard just takes their dang time with balancing, and especially with the meta right now, which so many people just absolutely hate playing in. I think they should have probably worked a little bit faster. Now, I don't think it's going to be exactly as bad as a lot of people are saying, where everybody's going to quit and never come back to the game because they hate Brigitte meta so much. I think a lot of people are quitting right now, just taking a break because it's kind of a frustrating meta to play for a lot of characters that have been extremely popular for an extremely long amount of time. But yeah, in general, get out some nerfs, Blizzard. I mean, I'm a person that wants to main this hero. I love the design. I love how the character works. But some nerfs could, I think, help both Brigitte players and people playing against her and make you feel a little bit different about playing her. Now, I guess one of the final things I'm going to mention here is that, honestly, I think playing in the Brigitte meta is fine. I think it's kind of fun for myself, playing a lot of her, playing a lot of Pharah, a lot of Junkrat, all those characters. You know, a lot of people hate playing against those characters, but for me, it's fine. But one thing I'm going to say right here that I hate is that this meta has completely butt out hitscan from the game. And in general, I think hitscan being good and being some of the strongest heroes is generally pretty good for the game. I think the reason that, you know, I like McCree being strong and Soldier being strong and those type of characters being strong is that when they're strong, well, those are extremely mechanically skilled heroes. You have to put a ton of time into them, and you know, I think that's a good thing for people to strive for. I mean, of course, you can pick other heroes that you might be getting results with faster. And, you know, I'm fine with, you know, there being a huge variety of different heroes being good. But right now, the hit scan just kind of sucks. And there's no reason to really pick it up. You're putting in all your time for nothing, essentially. And I kind of hope that this will, change somewhat. I hope that either some of the hit scan will get buffed or that by the meta changing, it'll help them. They haven't been that great for a while now. And dive meta also completely killed them. So please help out McCree, help out Soldier a little bit. Maybe that's just a thing I personally like, but that is another thing about this meta has been kind of annoying to play against because everyone's just playing projectile spam characters essentially, which, I don't know, aren't the funnest to play against. And I guess the final thing I'm going to say right here is that in this meta, we have had to play against sniper meta, and honestly, sniper meta is not that fun to play against either. I'm going to say that, again, my favorite meta is probably a pretty slow push DPS, hit scan heavy meta, where then you can also pick up flankers and spammers if you need to. But right now, it's a triple support meta with snipers. And snipers, I'm fine if they're in the game. I'm fine if they're alright. I'm fine if you can play them a lot in esports because they take a lot of skill to play. But right now, you can pick up Widowmaker without being that great at her and still get a lot of results because there isn't that much that's going to be countering you. And especially Hanzo, being peaked and just being one-shot all the time from a mid-range, which honestly isn't that hard to hit anymore as Hanzo, is just very frustrating. And playing against the new Hanzo ability, and having him just be so consistent as a sniper-type class character, which honestly, I've been having so much success with Hanzo with almost no time and effort into it, all the way in Masters tier. I think that should be changed up a little bit, and I hope that, swapping the metas will kind of help with that. Again, I'm fine with snipers being alright. I just think right now they're very frustrating to play against, because playing against snipers every single game is, in my opinion, just about as annoying as playing against Brigitte every single game. But anyways, as always, guys, that has just been my own opinion. I hope to kind of reconcile some of my opinions about this meta, but in my own way, as I know a lot of people are going to be complaining about other stuff, about how their characters don't fit in, about, a lot of different, ways that the game works. But these were my main complaints as somebody that really likes to play the character and that has been extremely excited to play them, but kind of pushed away by the way that the community's been reacting, by the way that the balance has been working, by a lot of ways that I have mentioned. But anyways, with all that said though, guys, this has been my own opinion. If you agreed, leave a like. If you disagreed, leave a double like. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, hit the subscribe button. Anyways, as always, guys, thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful day.